to Mesa as we get going with the Arena Pro Swim Series. So without further ado, when you ask questions, if you don't mind raising your hand, we'll pass around a microphone and capture your question for the video as well. So Michael, go ahead.
I'd like just to open up by saying that the last couple months have probably been the hardest couple months that I've ever had to go through in my entire life. Just sort of being able to find out a lot about myself, and to be able to continue to learn more and more about myself to help me go on this journey. I take full responsibility for all of my actions, and for me, I know I've hurt a lot of people, and it's I've hurt a lot of people, and it's been terrible. For me, being able to move forward and being able to be back in the pool is something that I'm very excited about. This is something that Bob and I have been looking forward to. Being back in Mesa and being racing again is something that I love, and something that the training has been going better than it has been really for a long time. So I'm excited to be back here in Mesa. And I think as a lot of you have heard, there's been a lot of talk about World Championships, and I would like just to touch on it here before we get into everything. It's obviously very challenging and hard for me to not be able to participate at the World Championships, and I do accept the decision that USA Swimming made back early in the fall. But by no means do I want this to be a distraction from the team. I know how hard it is to qualify for the team, and I know how much hard work goes into the team. And for me, by no way would I ever want to displace a member of that team. For me, I will be in full support of everything they do over there, and I wish them all the luck in Kazan. Bob and I will be cheering overseas for them, and Bob and I have prepared, and we will continue to prepare for Summer Nationals. That was our plan for the whole time, and that's something I'm looking forward to. Also, I think, for me, my goal the whole entire time was to change the sport of swimming and change really every aspect from it. And for me, being able to have that opportunity this week and over the past couple months, being able to work with Aquasphere and being able to start and launch our MP line this week is something that Bob and I are very excited about. Being able to work with Aquasphere and the design team over the last couple months to be able to come up with a product that I absolutely am in love with. The suit is comfortable. It has the right compression in the right areas, and for me, it allows my body to have a natural movement, and I guess it is fast too, and I guess that's one of the biggest parts about it. That's awesome. But this is a week that I've been looking forward to for a long time, and obviously for me, being able to accomplish one of my lifetime goals and dreams, or continue, I guess, to accomplish my lifetime goals and dreams of changing the sport and being able to have my own line is something that I'm very excited about and very passionate about, and looking forward to being able to compete in that this weekend. The men's suit will be out for pre-order this week, and then the female suit will be out in the summer. But also, I guess I'd like to close and just say it's exciting to be back here in Mesa. I know last year was my first sort of real comeback meet for my comeback trail, it was a great meet last year. I only swam the 100 and the 50, and I have a couple more events while I'm here. But the community is amazing here, and it's loud, and the excitement level is amazing. So I look forward to that this week, and I guess that's all for me.
Bob?
I would just sort of echo what Michael said, that we're very happy to be here, and we're happy to be in a place where he's not only swimming well, but living well and feeling good about things and making good decisions about what we're going to do next. And we have a good plan in place to get us ready for next summer, and we're looking forward to go to the Nationals and see how that shakes out as well. I'd also like to echo his thoughts that we are in 100% support of our World Championship team and wish them all the best. And it is disappointing that we can't be there, but we understand the situation, and we're anxious to move on. That's it for me.
I'd just like to add, hopefully I look forward to rejoining my teammates next summer. I guess leading into Rio, that's something that something that I love is being a part of the national team and especially traveling overseas. So I look forward to hopefully having that opportunity next year.
So does that mean you're definitely going to try to go to Rio?
How did I know that's the first question that's going to happen? Oh, you guys heard it here first. Yeah, it's a big surprise.
So what's Mesa mean to you? You always seem to make a big splash every time you come here, particularly this time and the last time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Only been here twice.
I guess it's just how it works, right? Last year was obviously, sort of my first time off of coming back, and I guess this is again my first meet coming back off of a suspension. So I don't know. It's like Bob and I have always talked about. This has always been. It's I guess over the last 2 years, it's been an exciting time, and for me, it's coming into a meet here. I haven't felt this way in a long time. Part of me does feel like when I'm training, I do feel like I was back in high school and even, leading up before 2008 Olympics, just how I feel in the water. I'm happy at workout. I'm smiling. I actually come to every workout, which is a surprise. So it's a change from last year, so it's, and it's because I want to be there. It's because it's like, going into 2012, I'd be the first one to say that, and I'd say it 100 times, that I probably didn't fully prepare how I should have. And I think this is probably actually 1,000% that was how it was. But I truly am excited, and I truly am in a better place, in a better state, state of mind, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. Just absolutely in every which way, and I think that's just why I'm how I am in the water. It's just I'm excited to see actually how I swim here, and it's something that's going to be pretty cool to be able to actually race for the first time since Pan Pacs, and like we said, like I said, Mesa is. Last year it was crowded as could be in here. It was packed. People were loud. It was exciting, I guess I heard the tickets sold out just as fast this year as they did last year. So it's always good to have the support that we've had down here. Like I said, it's my second time here, and we've had amazing support already. So
I think it's a really good facility. It's a very well-run meet. It's a chance for us to come and actually be under this really bright thing out here that we haven't seen in like 6 months. Average temperature in Baltimore is like 25 degrees all winter. So it's really nice for us to kind of start off our summer season here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Charles.
Oh, okay. Hey, Michael. You said in December, and you said again today, that through this whole experience, you feel like you learned a lot about yourself. What did you learn?
To be honest, I am who I am, and I guess I've said this a lot really over the last couple months. I'm perfectly imperfect. I'm a human being, and quite frankly, it's like if I have all this energy and I'm annoying and you don't like that, well, too bad. That's who I am, and I'm okay with that. I like myself for who I am, and I accept that. And you know, I might be annoying at times, I might be funny at times, but that's just who I am. I don't know, I guess it's like, you know, in workout I feel like a kid again, I really do. You know, I probably can be sort of a pain in Bob's rear end sometimes because I don't shut up, or, you know, I just constantly am talking, and like maybe that's my ADD as a kid that's really just firing back up again. You know, I don't know what it is, but it's just...
Well, the difference in your training is you're engaged in it. Like when you show up, things happen. Number one, you show up, and number two, things are happening when you're showing up.
I think, you know, it's...
Be my assessment.
but I think that's how I am with everything now in my life.
So maybe everything.
You know, it's you know, I'm engaged in you know, whether it's workouts, whether it's building the suit and building these products that we've been working on. You know,
you're engaged.
What?
You're engaged.
I am engaged. Yes,
that's
correct.
Pretty good stuff.
Actually, another thing, yeah. But it's just everything. Like I'm just in tune, and it's, you know, I'm aware of everything that's going on, and I'm excited about the things that I'm doing, and you know, I like Bob said, just to reiterate, I'm fully engaged in everything that I have, and these are the things that I want to be doing. You know, and if I didn't, I think you would see part of what I was, you know, going to 2012. You know, like from a swimming side, I wouldn't be coming to work out. I wouldn't care about it. And I think that's a huge difference between me now and between me now then. Between then.
Michael, how much support did you get from your fans? Obviously, you're a role model to a lot of people out there. How much support did you get, and how important was that for you as you were going through this process?
You know, it's actually, the other day, Bob took me into his office and he gave me these little letters that were from a local elementary school in Baltimore. And I flew down yesterday and I read through a bunch of them. And these are elementary school kids, and I mean, it's like almost I was in tears reading this stuff.
These are the kids, the teacher who sent it to me anonymously and said, maybe I wanted to save some things. The kids wrote these in October when they were doing I don't know if it was a lesson or they were talking about perseverance. And the kids all wrote these letters to Michael at that time. He said, well, I purposely saved them because he felt like, you know, sometimes after you're kind of back in your normal routine, you might need a little lift sometimes. So I got him like last week and just gave it to him.
I mean, I just read them yesterday.
It was amazing.
It was wild just hearing the stories that they were going through as kids, you know, as elementary school kids, and you know, just how they go through hard times and how they keep their head up, and you know, I think that the biggest thing is just having the support from all over the world and from your friends and your family especially. You know, I think this is the time where I've probably never been as close to my family as I am now, and the people who really love me for actually who I am. And I think that's the most important thing that you know, I guess a lot in the past I've pushed away a lot of people who really have loved and care about me at times, and I think just being able to be where I am now today, they're closer than they ever have been, and I'm happier than I ever have been. So,
Michael, what exactly was it that brought upon this change of mindset? Was it the DUI suspension, the 2012 games?
I honestly don't know the answer to that question, to be honest. I mean, I did more growing up in the last probably 8 months than I ever have in my life, just in a lot of different levels, I think, and that could be from any instant or anything that I've gone through. You know, like I said, it's been some of the most challenging times of my life. Brutal, but you know, it's life, and you know, I have been able to come out on a better end and have a clearer head, and I mean, I don't think I've ever been like this once in my life.
Michael, for people who will hear you saying these things today and be skeptical, and say, well, why should we believe Michael this time that he's in a great place?
Yeah.
A, do you care? And B, what makes this time different?
I mean, you can, everyone has the right to believe whatever they want. I mean, to me, I know exactly how I am now, and exactly how I feel now, and exactly how I wake up every day, and I go through my everyday life. If somebody doesn't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth, that's not my choice, and I know the only person that I can control in any situation is myself. I of course would like to show everybody in the world that I am in a different place, and I am much better than I ever have been. I understand that that's going to take a lot of time, for me to be able to prove to whoever I need to prove to that I am different, and I am changed, and this week will be the first week that I can start that, and hopefully people can really see me for who I am, and they can accept that, and if they can't, they can't. It's their choice.
Well, Jeff, and then Mike.
Hi, Michael. Mike Lewis, Swim Swam. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It sounds like acceptance is a really big part of where your head's at. You talked about accepting where you are, who you are, how you are, and all that kind of stuff. 2 questions. How is this affecting the way you're looking at swimming? Are you looking at it any differently? And 2, how did you take this into this fun endeavor of starting a new product line?
I'm looking at swimming a lot better, I think, now than I ever have. I guess in the most recent little go at, and going into 2012, I do take day by day, and like when Bob says, like, I do come in with a purpose. I do, because there are goals that we are working towards, and things that we do want to achieve over the next 2 years and year and a half, and it's like those the goals that I have are very lofty. Don't waste your time on asking what they are, because obviously you all know me from a long time. You're not going to find out what they are, but they are going to be very challenging. And I come into work with a purpose every day, and it's been a while since I've done that. So I think that's something that excites me even more, because it's just kind of cool coming in and swimming fast every day. I mean, I really can't tell you how much I'm enjoying it, and being able to get to some of the times that I was doing back when I was in 2007, 2008, for workout wise. So it's like I certainly haven't swam this fast within the last quad. No shot. So it's exciting for me, because it's something that I haven't seen in a long time. So the fire and the passion, the excitement is coming back for me in the water. And for being able to start my own product line, for me, as you all know, as a 15-year-old kid, I wanted to change the sport of swimming. And I'll never forget sitting down with my agent when I first met him, when he asked he said, "What can I do for you?" And that's exactly what I said when I was a 15-year-old kid, that I wanted to change the sport of swimming. And I feel like the sport has come a long way, a very long way, since 2000, since the very first time that I was on the national team. And for me, Michael Jordan was somebody who I always looked up to, and watching him, what he did on and off the court, on and off the basketball court, that's what basketball is today. He changed it. And it's kind of wild, to be able to have the opportunity to come together with Aquasphere and to be able to have input, and to be able to build a suit, to be able to build products that are going to help swimmers from all different age brackets, from learn to swim all the way up to competitive swimming line. For me, the other day I said I guess I compared it to like a kid in a candy store. Imagine like you're this 10-year-old kid and you're in this candy store, and I was like, and I was talking to Shannon on the phone the other day about it, and it was so funny because I was like, I was saying all of my favorite candies. So I was like, imagine you can have all the Starbursts and all the Skittles and Sour Patch Kids and Twizzlers you wanted, and you didn't have to pay for any of it. I was like, like you were so excited. You're like a kid. Oh my God, this is awesome. And that's exactly how I feel. One, because I'm engaged, I'm passionate about it, and it's a dream come true. I've never been able to have as much input in products as I have today. And Bob and I and the design team, just with every single aspect of it, it's been absolutely incredible, and we're only going to get better from here. So that's where I am. I'm a kid in the candy store. I could talk to you about that for hours on this. It's just really cool for me.
About candy or suits?
The suits, the products, everything. It's cool.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Michael, Katie Ledecky was in here earlier. She said she got an autograph from you when she was 6 at Nationals. What do you think of what she's doing and maybe the impact that you've had on that age group? She's 18 now. And then also, can you comment just on your fiance and how much importance she's had in where you're at right now?
Watching Katie doing what she has been doing over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, I guess. It's been wild to watch her sort of grow up into the swimmer that she is now. Watching her break the records, like she's broken some records. Like watching her swim last summer, it brought back so many memories when I was her age doing the same thing, and it was awesome. It was cool to watch, and I couldn't have been happier for her. I've watched her and work out and watch how hard she works. She deserves it, and that's kind of funny. I didn't even realize that I gave her an autograph when she was 6. I guess I have been swimming for that long. I am the old man in the sport now. It's things like that if you're doing something to make little kids excited and to make them have goals and dreams that are so big and beyond that any other kid would ever dream about, that's the sport changing. As a 6-year-old, she was excited to get my autograph, and we share now. We're in the national team together, and she's breaking world records. That's awesome that she's been able to to grow into the swimmer that she is, and hopefully there are other swimmers out there in the world that are still doing or can hopefully do that one day. And I think that's just a difference in how people are excited about this sport, and I would love to see it continue to not only grow but change. And as in my fiance, her and I have been on and off for 8 years now, going on 8 years. It's been a long time. We've been through a lot. But I love her to death, and we've been able to grow together as a couple, through everything that we've been through, and through a lot of the positive changes that I've been able to make in my life. We've been able to make them together, and we've been able to grow stronger as a couple, and I think that's, we're at a completely different level than we've ever been in our past relationships, and it's just, I don't know, it seems like we've done a lot of things to the house. We've changed the house up, so it's like I'm getting to that stage of my life. But it is exciting, and I'm looking forward to having her here this week, and having some family and friends here this week to cheer me on.
How competitive is this weekend going to be for you? You could theoretically face Ryan Lochte, one of your big rivals in all 5 events. And do you have any nervousness or anxiety after taking a little time off?
I think the biggest thing, some people have asked me that, and I think the biggest thing that I have about this weekend is just excitement. I love to compete more than anything, and being able to be back here, racing some of my teammates, I think it's just going to be awesome. And for me, just for Bob and I, and how we've been working, building up to this, really over the last 6 months. I'm just excited to see what times I'm going to put up, or how fast or how slow I could swim. I don't know. But I know I've done some really exciting work that I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Nicole and then Child.
Michael, what were you waiting for to finally use the word Rio?
I don't know. I never really talk about the future, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I'm not really sure why I decided to say it today, but I guess I can say why I said it today was because not being able to be a part of a team is something that it's something I really enjoy, is being a part of the national team, and especially traveling overseas. You know, when you have younger swimmers like Katie and some other swimmers who have never been, you know, necessarily to an an overseas competition and to a meet, you know, like World Championships or like Pan Pac Games, where you can help some of these rookies out. And you know, I remember sitting with Frank last year when I told him that. I told him that was something I really enjoyed. You know, I think he asked me the question of like, why did I come back, or why did I decide to come back? And you know, part of it was I really do enjoy being on those trips. You know, I think that's why it is painful to, you know, to not be, I guess, to think that I won't have the chance to compete at Worlds, based off the decision that was made last fall by USA Swimming. So, you know, it is what it is. But you know, hopefully, I do look forward to being back on a team with some of my teammates. You know, I know a lot of us do come together really well on national team trips, and you know, I think just the bonding that we have as a group, I think, just brings us together to really prepare us for international competition. And yeah, I'll miss out on it this year, but I am looking forward to next year, to be honest. I mean, I don't think it's too hard to really realize why I came back. But I don't like to future trip too much with anything that I do in my life.
Hey, Michael, what do you need to...
Hey,
how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I drove 80 miles an hour to get here. What do you need to see this week for you to meet your standards, to know that you're on the track you want to be on? Kind of what are you looking for against the competition?
You know, for me, it's just times that I want to accomplish whatever that may be. It's you know, I was talking earlier about how the training that I've been doing, I really don't think I've done since 2007 and 2008. You know, being able to do some of the back-to-back workouts and to do, I mean, I definitely haven't done this kind of yardage in the last quad. And you know, it's challenging both physically and mentally, but you know, I've accepted the challenge, and it's just you know, for me, coming into a meet this way is just, it's different, because I haven't, you know, like I said, I haven't done the training in the last 4 years like I have been doing, so I don't know what to expect. So it's kind of like, you know, having an open mind and just getting up on the block and racing, you know, what I used to do. You know, that's what I would just get up and swim as hard as I could and leave it in the water, and that's what I'm going to do here. And I know I'm more prepared now than I was at this time last year. I know that for a fact. So I'm just excited to see what happens.
We'll take a few more.
Michael, like you said, this time last year, you were coming out of retirement. And this
I was
time
fat and out of shape last year.
Obviously, this time you're coming off of suspension here at Mesa. Could you maybe compare and contrast those two time periods for you training leading up to the meet and how they're different?
Yeah, I was training this time.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need to say. I've actually been putting in some work. Last year, I think in my eyes I was training.
Yeah.
But
I think we found out. Maybe not.
I think I was kind of just really going through the motions last year. So, you know, it's and that's just where I am. Yeah, I'm a lot happier and in a lot better state and in a lot better physical shape now than I really have been in a long time.
I think that a very good friend of mine, Greg Harden, told me that, you know, if something's predictable, then it's manageable. Well, now I can kind of manage them a little bit, because what we're doing is predictable, right? It's logical. We have a plan. We're actually following it. Whereas probably the last 5 years, just been kind of, you don't know what you're going to get. So we just had to kind of roll with it.
That's my fault, obviously.
No.
I know. I take full responsibility for that.
Just
Trust
saying,
me.
just saying.
I was the one that didn't do the work, so I take full responsibility.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Michael, I mean, in the past you've talked about, as an athlete, using adversity or difficulty or slicks or whatever to kind of fuel your competitive fire. Is this an example of that to some degree, or is this sort of a different mindset in terms of where you are competitively? And then also, Bob, just real quick, the name of the elementary school, if you know it.
Yeah, Windsor Mill Elementary.
It's Winsfield. Isn't it Winsfield?
Oh, sorry, it's in Windsor Mill. Is Winfield Elementary?
Yeah, some Winfield or Winsfield
sorry,
or
it's
something.
in Windsor Mill.
I think, for me, I'm obviously somebody who always uses things as motivation, and it's. I think when you really look back at it, it's like every hard time that I've gone through in my life, I have used as motivation, but I think it's also been everything that I've really just been able to go through with every step that I've gone through over the last 8 months. I can honestly say it's changed my life, and it's, to be honest, it's just as easy as saying I'm happy every day now. There are certain things I can and I can't control, and the only things that I really try to make sure that I pay attention to are the things that I can control. And I don't get frustrated when something doesn't go my way. Whatever that might be. I think I just have a completely different, happier outlook on a lot of things, and I'm engaged in what I'm doing. I don't know for what reason that might be. It's probably because I know that it's what's in my heart, and I know it's what I care about the most, and that's why I'm working as hard as I am, and I'm interested and fully engaged in everything that I'm doing.
We'll go Rebecca, Wayne, Beth.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that.
Oh, sorry, Bob.
Just 1 second. It's kind of like when Wayne asked, what if people are skeptical about this? No one is more skeptical than me. INTJ, right here. I had to test it, I know, right? And when we had our last experience, and it was going to be pretty hard to convince me that anything was going to lead back to something that we would be proud of. And Michael called me a couple times from when he was away, and that started to make me think, wow, that's just really weird, because he never calls me ever. But I actually went out and spent a day with him, kind of in the middle of it. And honestly, when I went, I was, again, skeptical. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. And when I left there, number one, I was amazed that people are transformed like that. But, I just had no doubt that he had changed in a way that was really meaningful. It wasn't superficial. It wasn't like, he's just doing it because he knew he had to. He's completely different. And it's been that way every day since he's been back. And that's the truth. And nobody's harder on him than me.
That's for sure.
Rebecca.
Michael, before you were really fully embarked on that journey and in the aftermath of the publicity of the DUI, was there a moment where you just thought, screw it, I don't need this, I don't need to be in the public eye? What did you just...
It's kind of late at that point.
Yeah. When you have a goal to want to change the sport, I think it's kind of hard to not be in a public eye. Have I screwed up? Yeah, a lot. But I've never, I've never gone through this experience before. And it's, I know that I literally can say this is the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And did you know early on that returning to swimming would be part of that happiness?
I think everything happens for a reason, and I think when I did call Bob several times, I was excited and I wanted to come back, and you know, it's where we are right now is the best place that I could be. And swimming, you know, I actually talked to it's funny, I talked to my sister about this the other day. I was like, you know what, hell, I was like, as much as we've been swimming and you know, I took 2 years off for, you know, I kind of didn't really want to swim. And at the end of it, I kind of started getting in the water on my own, and just splashing around. I was like, you know, I was like, I saw how my body was then. I was like, I was fat. I mean, I put on 25, 30 pounds quick. And you know, granted, I don't think I'll ever work as this hard when I'm done. But I always see swimming, you know, me working out in the pool as some part of my life. I think, you know, in the past I've been so adamant about saying, you know, not a shot in hell, like that would never happen. But swimming is a part of my life, and it will forever be a part of my life. Out of the water and in the water. And you know, I can sit here and probably say that when I am done, I will swim a few times a week. Will I swim in Masters? That's still a no. But I will swim a few times a week on my own to keep in shape and to continue to, you know, like I said, to continue to try to change the sport in any way that I can. Will be a lifelong process.
Wayne and then Beth.
Michael, I'm curious, as you've gone through this process the last 8 months, were you open to this change early on, or was it a struggle for you to sort of get started and do this self-exploration?
You know, I think in like the first, I would say it took me to probably about a week, and I was like, all right, let's do this. You know, the first week I was really hesitant about it, and you know, I was kind of just like shut off from everything. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, I didn't really leave my room for like a week for anything, and then I was kind of just open arms, like, all right, let's do this, and I was excited about it, to be honest. You know, to find out a lot of things that, you know, I kind of already knew, but I kind of had to go through the process, and you know, there were some, obviously a lot of tough days that I went through, but it felt good, and you know, being able to go through, you know, some of the challenging things that I went through, you know, I found myself kind of walking taller and being happier every day and smiling more and just, I guess, being me and accepting me for who I am. And you know, I think, you know, for me, I looked at myself as a swimmer and that was it. You know, so it was tough to be able to, you know, to really go through that whole process. And you know, kind of once I went through that process, man, I guess ever since then, I've been excited about who I am, both in the pool and out of the pool. And I think that was a big step for me to go through. And you know, sort of once I went through that, there was no turning back. You know, like I said, I've said this 100 times, and I'll say it again. Like I'm so happy with where I am now. I would never want to change.
Last one.
Michael, how did you and Nicole end up coming back and finding each other again?
You know, it's
About an hour?
Yeah. How much time we got? You know, I always said, I said to a couple of my friends, if I ever had the chance to get her back, then that would be it. You know, I said to a bunch of my friends that she was the one that I love the most, and if I could get back, I would.
Didn't I always say she was my favorite?
I mean, a couple people told me that.
Who was right
and
again?
Sure enough, I have to learn the hard way, I guess.
Well, when will you two be tying the knot?
That's another famous question. Well, it's, you know, how it all came to be is I reached out to her and you know, I never wanted to have a what if, and I just told her exactly how I felt. And I was like, you know, as long as I can tell her that, then I can go through my life and be happy. You know, whatever happens, then that happens. And you know, obviously we worked through some things, and you know, she was nobody. You know, there's nobody else in the world that I want to be with besides her. And I'm not sure when we'll really be tying the knot. We have a couple dates in mind, but nothing will be until after Rio. Nothing will be until after that time, and yeah, we are excited. You know, I am growing up, and we are growing up, and it's kind of interesting. I have a bunch of friends who are like having babies and they're already married, and so it's like kind of everything. It's like I guess it's just that time, you know, it's just that time, and I'm ready for it, and I think that's the most important thing. And her and I are both ready for it together. You know, we've been able to go through a lot together, a lot, and we're happy where we are.
Bob, unless you have anything to close with, we'll thank
Let's
you.
have a swim meet.
Thank you both for your
Please.
time. Tomorrow, 100 Fly, Michael's event. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thanks, guys.